Today, I want to show you how to deliver virtual presentations that boost engagement and make a positive impact. During my sessions, I always get the same question. Jose, how can we deliver more impactful virtual presentations? That seems to be the thing right now. And of course, I get it. Virtual presentations have become an essential tool for business, for communicating ideas, for managing and leading our teams, for sharing information, for building connection with others. But there are many challenges. And I'm going to be naming a few, and I'm sure you can relate to some of them. The main one, how do we keep the audience engaged? Audience engagement is key. Without these nonverbal cues, how do we know our message is landing well? Is our audience bored? Are they confused? Are they even still awake? Fair question. Then, on top of all of it, we have technical difficulties. There's the internet issue. We may have audio delays, glitchy softwares. What else can I think of? You're speaking to a screen. And for many of us, it can be uncomfortable because you are not getting immediate feedback like we do in face-to-face interactions. We tend to go reading from our slides and we tend to go quite monotone, which creates disconnection. We give too much information to people, to our audience, and then that leads to overload and people lose interest. I get it. I know. I've been there. So what I want to do with this video is to show you some of the strategies that I personally use and that I teach to overcome some of those issues that I've just mentioned. Because my goal is to help you deliver virtual presentations with impact and confidence. The first thing I recommend, prepare for success. Failing to prepare is preparing to fail. So what can you do? Hey, make sure you test your technology. Make sure your internet connection is strong. Make sure you have a good microphone. There is a camera. Make sure you test the software you're going to be using. Is it Zoom? Is it Teams? Are they working okay? Always have a backup plan in case some of these things, some of the technical issues emerge. For me, for instance, if my internet drops, I always have my phone ready, okay, to be used as a hotspot. If your camera fails, hey, have a second one. I always have a couple of cameras just in case. Be ready. Be ready for the unexpected. Use, as I said, high quality audio and video. A good external microphone and a webcam can significantly improve your delivery. Also, good lighting will help. Natural light is good, but I also recommend at least a ring light. Minimize background distractions. I like to recommend a clean background, professional background. I don't like the blurred virtual backgrounds that much anymore. If you haven't got any other option, then go for it. But mainly, avoid clutter or anything that can be distracting in the background, okay? I always like to have a glass of water. If I need notes, I have my notes ready. I have backup slides. And please close unnecessary applications like the emails, for instance, to avoid interruptions. Engage your audience from the start. Always remember that you are in charge of your presentation, so tell your audience what to expect. How long is your session going to go for? Always remember to engage them early from the very beginning, and this can be done through an engaging story, through an open question, a fact, but make this your intention. Always remember to have a clear structure. If you have watched some of my previous videos, you see that for me it is key to have a structure because that will enable me and you to sign, post, and lead the audience throughout your presentation so you're always connected. I like to use and I encourage that you use a conversational tone. What happens when we go reading our slides, we lose this and we begin to speak at our audience instead of speaking with them. if you can, even if you see their names, and it is a large group, use their names. Be a bit more direct, because this will drive more engagement and it will enable you to have a more personal connection. I always like to embrace technology, so if you have whiteboards, for example, within the application that you're using, like, it can be the Zoom or the Teams whiteboard, but you can also use Miro or Mural or the good old flip chart. Use it. It will help you be more engaging. And again, as I said, remember, set the expectations from the beginning. I want this session to be interactive. I want you to comment. I want you to ask questions. I want you to use reactions, emojis. Why not? Make it fun. Remember that. Drive engagement. Tell them where you're going. You are in charge. Master your delivery. Yes, there is this thing in public speaking about eye contact. Don't overdo it, but do make eye contact every now and then by looking straight into the camera. That will help you be more present and it will feel more like a conversation with your audience on the other side of the screen. When it comes to using gestures, expressive body language, yes, but do it in a way that suits you. Don't overdo it again. And hey, every now and then incorporate something new. One thing I will always invite you to do is to be more creative and to be less vanilla in terms of how you deliver your sessions. I also recommend that you pace yourself. You incorporate pauses for more impact. Slow down, absolutely. Remember the ABC from my previous video. Be accurate, be brief, be clear. If you want to use, again, a flip chart or the widescreen, use it to write down some of the things that you get from the audience as well. This will drive engagement and it will make it a bit different as opposed to always just reading slides. If you want to stand up, I recommend it because it's been proven that more oxygen reaches your brain when you stand up, and more oxygen will boost energy and hopefully improve your delivery as well. Another question I get all the time, Jose, what about slides? Well, on this topic, keep them clean and highly visual. And this is only if you need to use slides. We over-rely on slides. And the thing is, they are not your presentation. They are support material that will enable you to enhance your message and the points you want to make. Always remember, in presentation skills, less is more. So less text and yes, more visual. As you can see, I like to use large fonts and high contrast. White background, black letters or font. Avoid overloading. When it comes to the slides, again, if you're using PowerPoint, avoid overloading with animations. Just have subtle transitions. We don't need all the... That only generates distraction and yes, makes you less impactful, put it that way. What's another question I get a lot? Jose, what if I'm presenting data? Which is another one that you can decide to use slides for or a flip chart. Well, if you're presenting data, use graphics, use icons, use bold key numbers instead of dense tables. When I see Excel spreadsheets as part of a presentation, oh goodness me, if you have people that appreciate a large or a huge amount of detail, email them the spreadsheet, please. Don't put it on the presentation. It is just too much information. So less is more. That's how I will summarize this point. As a presenter, your mission is to keep on boosting interactions and engagement. Most people I see present, they tend to go quite linear, okay, in their presentations. Slide after slide, point after point. The tone remains the same. What this creates is disconnection. So some of my recommendations are to use the polls, the chats, reactions, okay? Get people to type every now and then. If you've been speaking for over 5 minutes, 7 minutes, you're getting a bit bored of hearing your own voice, hey, reach out to them. How is this landing? How is it going? People, are you still with me? This will help you breaking up that monologue, and it will create more interactions, okay? What else do I recommend doing in this case? Hey, you have got the breakout rooms. People do enjoy breakout rooms. Do regular check-ins, as I said. Encourage camera use. And I know if you have a large audience, you won't be able to see all of their faces potentially, but by them having it on, I guarantee you, they will be a little bit more present. If you've decided to use, for instance, a flip chart, well, whatever contributions they give to you, why not? You can write them down. This will help you change your pace, incorporate a pause, will enable people to relax and digest some of the content you've been delivering, okay? And as always, lead them. Tell them what you would like them to do, how you would like them to interact. Raise your hand if you have a question. Type in the chat your thoughts on XYZ, whatever it is that you've been speaking about. And hey, make it fun. Make it fun, make it engaging. Have a good time with them. Talk to them. This is very important as well. Manage your time effectively. Not just because of you, but because of your audience. This will show you respect their time. So stick to your schedule. As I mentioned before, this is, again, so important. Have a clear structure. Use a simple roadmap. These are the points I'm going to be covering today. Let them know where you're going with this. This will drive engagement. If you want more information, check out some of my previous videos. Always leave time for Q&As. It can be halfway or at the end or after every topic or point. I've said this so many times. Use this to summarize things. Use a whiteboard. Get creative. And important, if time runs out, which could happen, and I would invite you to try and avoid that. But if it happens, offer a follow-up. It can be via email. I'll answer further questions via email or via WhatsApp, or create a LinkedIn post in order to address some of these things. The world is your oyster, okay? So think outside the box when it comes to creating further engagement, and please do manage your time effectively. What if you have virtual challenges? Like, for example, tech issues. The first thing I would say to you is to stay calm. If something goes wrong, instead of going, I'm sorry, and panicking because the audience may panic with you, acknowledge it, try and sort it out, and move forward. Imagine that you are facing low engagement. Well, re-engage. If participation drops, call on someone. Remember that I say call them by their names, engage with people, ask them a quick question, introduce a new interactive element, break the flow. That's very important. One of my favorite strategies is to share my thoughts openly. An example is, people, you've gone quiet. Shall we try something else? Most of the time they will say, yeah, Jose, let's just, move on. Let's just do something else. Why not? Or who's feeling tired after lunch? Remember to be conversational. As you begin to build rapport with them, people will interact with you. What if you face disruptions? Well, stay professional. If you need to mute someone, mute someone. If a participant is disrupting things, handle it politely. And if you need to jump on a separate call to discuss it, hey, yes, do that later and redirect the focus. One more thing. If internet drops, let participants know in advance that you will reconnect as soon as possible, or have a co-host to continue. Please don't do this. Don't finish your presentation with, thank you, Any questions? And that was my presentation. Any questions? If you start on a high, or actually always start on a high, finish on a high. One way can be through a call to action, or you can decide to summarize the key points you've covered, the key takeaways, 1, 2, 3. Always end with impact. You can use, if you use a quote at the beginning, you can use the same quote at the end to wrap it up, or a strong call to action, or get people to know what the next steps are. You can also invite further engagement. Okay, people, here you have some additional resources, or I'm going to email you the presentation, or there's going to be a follow-up call on this session. Think about how you want to finish on a high. And always, instead of any questions, be specific with your questions. Here you have one for this video, for you. What is one insight or strategy you will apply from watching this video? You see, I'm being very intentional, very specific. And I look forward to hearing your answer, reading your answer in the comments, okay? So I'm not letting you off the hook. Here is my final thought. Your energy will equal their energy. Virtual fatigue is real, okay? So it is important that you bring energy, you bring enthusiasm to keep people engaged. Why? When you're excited, when you're present, when you're energized, when you're positive, your audience will feel it too. And on that note, I want you to go on now, apply what you've learned, and see you in the next video. Thank you very much.